And you've probably said this to yourself many times, like, I want to get healthier, I want to eat better, I need to lose weight. I'm just not motivated to do it. What the hell is going on? Why can't I just get my shit together? Excuse me. Get my stuff together to just do that. Well, here's the thing. What you're waiting for this motivation to kind of just, oops, to kind of just come out of the blue and everything just sort of falls into place. Well, you know this, and I know this, but you are going to be waiting a while because it's not how motivation works. One, you know that motivation comes and goes, right? But what's more important is that that's just not how it works. Motivation, yeah, you might get a burst of motivation here and there, but if you do, it's not long before it fades away and you go right back to whatever the hell it was that you were doing, which is many times nothing when it comes to your weight loss and your health goals, right? What I want to tell you how it really works is that there's something that comes before motivation. And so, like I said, the post, that's why I kind of put it out there today. I wanted to see what you guys thought. And like I said, there was so many good answers. But what I want to tell you is there's something that's even a little bit deeper than those answers that you shared. And here's the thing, it's action. Action comes before the motivation. There's really more of a series that goes more like taking action, doing that thing consistently, which then brings on results, which then kicks in that motivation. And I'm going to kind of talk you through a really quick example of that. So when I say action, it doesn't mean it has to be something that's just a massive undertaking. It can be the smallest step, right? It could be the smallest thing to get you started. It could be, I'm going to eat fruit instead of constantly going for the chips. I'm going to take a walk around my block every day for the next, week. Whatever it is that you're doing, that small action, that is what I mean. There's this action that you have to take. So that's the first thing that has to take place. You must take action. The next thing is that it's got to be consistent, right? You have to do it enough to then bring about some kind of a result. And when I talk about a result, again, it doesn't have to just be weight loss. It doesn't have to be 10 pounds and now I can say that I'm a success. It could be something as simple as, you know what? I don't feel as bloated as I did when I don't eat all those chips at night. It could be, I'm feeling so much better that I've been going to sleep earlier, getting a full night's sleep, quality sleep, and getting up in the morning and being able to work out or just get out the door earlier. Your action can be something that's done. Your action could be something that's small, but you have to do it consistently in order for you to get some kind of a result, that thing that just makes you feel good, right? It could even be, for example, that you feel so good that you've been able to check off on your calendar, I had fruit every day for the last 3 days, and you've been checking off on your calendar, and it feels really good to do that. That can be a result. And this is also why you never want to compare your journey to anybody else's, because your journey, the things that you do, the actions that you take, and the wins that you experience are very personal. And you don't want to compare them to other people because most of the time when you do that, you belittle the success and the progress that you make. And we want to celebrate those things. We want to celebrate all those wins, even if they are small, because guess what? It's those wins, those results that lead to the motivation, right? Because when you start realizing, like, wow, I'm taking this action, I'm being pretty darn consistent, I'm getting these results, I feel good, that actually makes you feel motivated, which then leads to you wanting to take more action. And so you can just picture this. When you keep doing that, it starts to have a snowball effect because that small thing that you thought, or the little action that you thought that you were doing months ago, now you're doing bigger things. But you wouldn't be doing those bigger things had you not started with that small action months prior. Does that make sense? So I want you to really think about this. The motivation isn't the starting point, right? It's the action. It's the action, number one. It's doing it consistently, number two. It's doing it consistently enough so that number three, you're going to get some kind of benefit, some kind of results that then lead to that motivation. And what I want to do is share a story about a client who She's now down 52 pounds. She is 2 years in, over 2 years in, working my program. And what I want to share with you is that prior to working with me, and I kid you not, she wasn't able to do any kind of program for more than 90 days because nothing was sustainable, right? She could never get that consistency part. And what she will tell you, as far as the biggest lesson that she learned in our, like I said, more than 2 years working together, is that it was really important for her to learn how how key it was that she take action when she was not motivated. I want you to really let that sink in. How important it was to take action even when she was not motivated, even when she didn't want to do so. And that is the really that key thing here. And when I talk about that we've been working together for over 2 years, it wasn't just working on like a goal, just one goal for 2 years. There were three things. If I were to like wrap up everything that we went over and that I taught her and we worked through, there were three key pillars that we actually worked through. And I'm going to share those with you too, so that you can get a better idea of what it really takes to not only get healthier and lose that weight that I know that you want to lose, but how to do so in a way that you can keep it off. Because the last thing you want to do is get this amazing success and then relapse and gain it all back. That's horrible. And it's heartbreaking, truly. So the three things that we worked on, and where I want to share with you is that when you feel like, like the statement that I said, I want to get healthier, I want to lose that weight, but I'm just not motivated. I don't know where to start. I want to ask this question. What do you think is the most common thing that I hear when people tell me that, when they say, I want to do all these things, but I'm just not motivated. I'm not motivated to do those things. What do you think is one of the most common blocks that's in their way? Now, I know we talked about motivation, taking action, but really, what's keeping you then from taking action? If you know that that first thing that you need to do is take action, what is keeping you from taking action? Even the smallest thing. Nothing's wrong with you, right? I mean, so many people struggle with this. So it's not like there's something crazy going on with you. We all struggle with this from time to time. So what is it that's keeping us from taking even the smallest action? I'm going to tell with you what that is. And I hear this so many times. I'm telling you, you really got to just listen to this, because I'm dropping some wisdom here and a lot of helpful tips for you. And that is, people don't know where to start. They do not know where to start and they're overwhelmed. So when I talk about, I kind of alluded to it before, I got a little bit excited like talking about this. I tend to do that when I talk about my client success, but I was talking about how this client who's down 52 pounds has kept it off for more than 2 years. She's still working the program and she's working it because it's sustainable. The key thing there is that when people don't start, it's because they don't know where to start. They are so overwhelmed, which is like how my client was before. She was so overwhelmed that truly it felt like she had these huge goals that there was no way that taking even a small step is even going to matter. So why even start? So what we did, like I said, there were three key pillars that we laid down for her. I laid down the foundation for a long-term, lifelong path to success for her. And the first thing that we did is make sure that she had a crystal clear method for eating. I know that sounds very basic, but it's needed, because up until that point, she had done every single diet out there. You name it, she had done it. And she couldn't do any of those things for, like I said, more than 90 days. That was her max. And now, like I said, she's 2 years and beyond. And the reason why this is so important to have a crystal clear eating method is that it needs to basically work with you, whether you're at home or you're at a restaurant or you're at your family's house or you're on vacation, wherever you're on a cruise ship. It's got to work for you, because if it doesn't, you're going to be constantly going back to trying to figure things out, feeling that overwhelm, feeling like you don't know where to start, and frustrated, and then you just throw it away again, right? So that is why that pillar is the key thing right off the bat. Having a crystal clear method of eating. We do that right up front. Next thing is that it's got to be a sustainable approach. So there's no room for those unrealistic diets where you are limiting your eating window, or you are cutting entire food groups, or just anything that is just downright unrealistic for you. Because again, if you, let's say you are able to lose weight in a relatively short amount of time because you've done some really restrictive diet, well, guess what? When you're no longer doing that diet and no longer able to sustain those habits or those behaviors, you will gain that weight back. And typically what happens is it's your body composition that's shifting too. So it's not just that weight and you kind of started off where you were before. No, many times and most of the time now your body composition is off. Now you're even a higher percentage of body fat than when you were to begin with, right? So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that whatever it is that you do is sustainable, right? You don't want to do the diets, the overly restrictive behaviors. You want to learn how to do it right and learn how to do it for good. So that's pillar number 2. Now, the third thing that we went over, and that I'm going to give you another example for this, is being accountable. So that client that I shared with you, when she talked about how one of the best, most important, valuable lessons that she learned in working with me is that she learned how important it was to be or to take action when she didn't want to, when she wasn't motivated, didn't feel like it, things were going to crap, and she was compelled and held accountable to take action. She said that overall has just been the game changer for her. So the third pillar is that accountability. And it's a big one. I mean, like, I work with a business coach and I'm telling you, I am accountable to her big time. But because of that, I am making huge steps, huge improvements way faster than, and maybe if I wouldn't be doing them at all if I wasn't working with her. But there's a lot to be said for accountability. Something to think about, and I tell this to my clients all the time, is the most important thing with coaching, or even let's say therapy, let's say like couples therapy. If you go like to a marriage counselor, couples counseling, you need that counseling the most when things are just, the poop is hitting the fan. You don't need it when things are great and everything's sunshine and rabbits and everything's great and you're lovey-dovey and you're getting along and you're communicating well. No, you need that therapist when, like I said, the poop's hitting the fan and you're ready to strangle each other. That's when you need that accountability to hold you in line, right? To hold you accountable, to hold you to a level of a standard that you know you want to work to take action when it's hard, when you don't want to. That's when you need that type of accountability. And like I said, when my client shared with me, she said that's hands down one of the best things that she had, because that taught her to be accountable when she didn't want to be. And so now she has an even stronger mindset when she's struggling. She actually has a stronger mindset because of all the work that we've done together. And I believe someone actually put an answer down on the post about what do you think you need before motivation? And someone said mindset. And I think that's a great answer. But the way you get mindset, guess what? It's taking action, right? You don't just get mindset because you hope for it, right? You got to work for that. Everything that I'm talking about is worked for. It's like just like, I know it's so cliche, but it's like a muscle. You got to work that muscle over and over and over until it becomes more natural. And even then, you're going to have hiccups and you're going to hit challenges and things like that, right? But the more you do it, the more you keep showing up for yourself, the better and better you are at it. Makes sense? So that's when, when I was talking to my client and she was sharing about how after doing all the diets and nothing sticking for more than 90 days, and really what it came down to was taking action when she didn't want to. And so that is a take home here, is that to wrap this all up is that remembering that action comes way before that motivation, especially if that motivation that you may or may not have is like I said, it comes and goes. And if you're waiting for that motivation, I'm telling you, you might as well pull up a seat in like the good old days when we had to wait at the DMV forever. You're going to be sitting at the DMV just like that. You're going to be waiting for a hell of a long time. So don't hope on that. Don't do the I wish I would, or I wish I would get motivated. Don't do that, because it's not going to come. It's not going to come when you want it. And those results that you want, they're not going to come when you want them either. You have to take action. And so if you are thinking, yeah, all right, BK, this is like perfect timing for you to do this talk because I am ready to finally take action. I am ready to finally lose that weight. I am ready to finally feel confident and amazing in my skin. I am ready to finally look at those pictures and like what I see in the pictures. That's actually something I hear all the time is I hate what I look like in pictures. And if you are finally ready to just feel good in those clothes that you have, and so that things fall right and you just feel confident when you walk into a room, what I want you to do, and I included it here in the caption or the video description, is click on that link and book your complimentary consultation with me. I've been doing consultations pretty solid between right before Christmas and into New Year's and beyond. It's I'm it's looking pretty I should say pretty active on my books, which is an amazing thing, and I'm really thankful for that. So what I want you to do is click on the link, book your time, book your date, and let's talk about your goals. And let me share with you if we are a good fit. I can share with you how what it looks like to work together and how I can help you get to those goals and not only get there, but then keep those results that you get. Because I'm telling you, I know that's what it is. Yes, the weight loss you want, the better health you want, the better energy, the loving the skin you're in and feeling good. Yes, I know you want those things, but the key thing is you want to stay there and if anything, improve. All right. So with that, like I said, click on the link, book your free consultation, and let's chat. I would be more than happy to connect with you and share with you more about how my 12-week program has helped so many people lose hundreds of pounds and inches, you know, put their type 2 diabetes in remission, get off of prescription medication, and really at the end of the day, just feel good about you, have that confidence back, get your groove back, all of that stuff, right? Just feel good in your skin. And I want that for you. All right. So until the next video, everyone have a great, great evening. And I'll see you on the next one. Coach BK is out. Mwah. Bye, everyone.